Hey guys, and welcome to a video where I've received the first package that hopefully contains one of the CarPlay devices to go into the Motorrad cradle on the new BMW. And I thought I'd do an unboxing first, as cringe as they are, and then we'll go into installing it onto the bike, and then we'll hook up my phone, and then we'll take it for a spin. Anyway, I'll start by unboxing it. So I'm pretty sure this is the what's it called? Car ABC one. So I've got this coming. Oh no, this is the Ridernav unit. So I ordered them both on the same day, and this one's the Ridernav R7M. So I ordered this and the Car ABC on the same day. And yeah, interesting that this one turned up first, which is pretty cool. The other one apparently is due to arrive either later today or first thing tomorrow. So they've both taken next to no time to come, and they've both come from Hong Kong. So kind of, if you were planning a long trip and last minute you wanted a device to be able to take away with you, you can pretty safely say that these would get to you no worries. This was delivered via Star Trek and Australia Post combined. So, and yeah, like I said, took absolutely next to no time to get here. So anyway, let's get into the next part. Packaging's lovely. Okay, so we've got a foam insert there. Keep everything nice and tidy and safe. We've got some pretty comprehensive instructions. Looks like those are in Mandarin and English and German as well. German, French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and English and Mandarin, so that's cool. And then the unit itself, so this is a R7M, so this is the 7-inch screen. Well packaged, so you can see that this is the area that with the two slots there and the one there that connects into the cradle that comes with the BMW bikes. We've got the black screen cover on the front, and I think that should be all that's in the box. Yeah, it is. Oh, except we've got a little screwdriver, and it looks like we've got a spot for a memory card over here, and potentially a USB there behind some waterproof seals. So yeah, wow, it's heavy. There's a bit of weight there, so it feels well made. And next step is I'll cut to me installing it on the bike. So stick around till then. Okay, let's have our first go of installing this. It looks pretty self-explanatory. So we've got this long bar down here, and up here we've got two short ones. So we've got the long space there and the two short ones up there. So let's hook it in down the bottom, clip it on up the top, and I've got it unlocked. So I'll slide the back across, done, that's in. So once we turn that and lock it, it's in. Okay, perfect. Now the satisfying part is peeling the screen off. Look at that. Okay, time to fire up the bike and see if we can get it connected. There we go, first time's the charm. Okay, let's go through the process of getting this set up. So we've got English, UTC plus 11. Let's see if we can connect to the Wi-Fi. Activate. Success. Oh, the screen is super clear. Okay, so that's mirroring our other screen. Wow, I've done a lot of Ks on this already. It's only 2,800 kilometers away from a service. Oh, now I can see that I can actually control this with the nav wheel. Oh, that's cool. All right, let's go about connecting up our Bluetooth. How do we do that? Okay, let's try and pair this. There we go. We officially have Apple CarPlay on my phone, on my motorbike. How cool is that? Well, now all we need to do is wait for some nice weather and we can take it for a spin and give it a try. So at the moment it's pretty foul. But very much looking to give it a try. And testing out its functionality. Alright, well I'll stay tuned and we'll do a video of that very soon. Okay, so it's the next day and I've finally got a chance to go out for a ride and try out the Ridernav. And I don't know what to tell you other than this thing's awesome. So you'll see it in the cockpit in front of me. Currently got it on Apple Maps and you can see how unbelievably crisp and clear the screen is. It is sensational, and it's currently quite cold. It's 12 degrees, so I've got my thickest Gore-Tex gloves on from Alpine Stars. Now, one of the biggest frustrations with using my phone as navigation is, well, you shouldn't really be touching it. I did read in the rules somewhere that you are allowed to touch it briefly if you're using it as a navigation device. Although I wouldn't want to be contesting that with a police officer after you've been pulled over. I'd much rather use something that's dedicated, like this. But even with the phone on the quad lock, I found that even with the touch points on the gloves, I couldn't use the phone most of the time anyway. It wouldn't work. Whereas this works absolutely perfect every time. So I can change through my apps, and there you go, it works perfectly. And yeah, like I said, that screen is so absolutely clear that all it takes is a quick glance, and you can just get all the information that you need. Now, one of the things, probably a downside to it, is because the screen is so big. This is the 7-inch, which I think I've mentioned about 13 times in this video so far, is that it does obscure the top of the screen on the bike. So it does. The only thing that I can't see is the fuel gauge information and the rider mode information, which given the cost of fuel at the moment, I'm happy to go with an ignorance is bliss as to how much fuel I've got in the tank anyway, so that can stay a mystery. I'll just wait till the warning light comes on, and then that can be future Ben's problem. But one of the things that bother me about this anyway, as good as BMW engineers are and as famous as they are, it did bother me that when you stand up to ride this off-road, you can't see the screen anyway because of the navigation mount. But with the nav unit, you can simply exit. And I think if we go one screen over, am I doing it right? No, I'm not. Come on, Ben. There we go. I knew I'd work it out. So you basically got a clone of that screen, clone of the bottom screen anyway, although there is somewhat of a lag there. And you can get the relevant information anyway, so you can get your speed and whatnot. The lag does bother me. Oh, looks like I've got an incoming phone call. My helmet's not turned on though, so I can't take it. Sorry, Melanie. Oh, that would have been the perfect test. That's okay. Anyway, I'm really enjoying learning it. I'll learn more of the functionality. I haven't discovered how to connect my action cameras to it yet, but that's something that'll be my priority for next, because I recently made a video with the Insta360 attached out of reach, so to turn it on I had to pull over and jump off the bike and turn it on. So I'll learn that next. And what I'm thinking I might do is a bit of a tutorial video, so I'll go through, learn how to use all the different functions and features, and then if anyone's interested, I'll teach you guys how to do it, because if you're anything like me, you much rather learn things by watching someone performing on a video rather than reading the instructions. Anyway, I'm going to give my wife a call back. I think her Tesla is back from being fixed, so that'll certainly help with the price of fuel in our house. And and I'll see you guys in a future video. Thanks as always for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching. If I can get a discount code for this, I'll put a link in the description. I don't know what the deal is, whether as a content creator I do get a kickback from that or not, but I'll be sure to put it in writing either way, so you guys know, because I prefer to be transparent about that sort of stuff. But yeah, definitely I'm pretty blown away by this unit, and hopefully you'll enjoy seeing it in my future videos. Alright, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.